Tonight, we journey to a world of elemental benders and spiritual wonders, focusing on a man beloved for his wisdom, his kindness, and his unwavering love for tea. But before he was the gentle mentor we know, he was a celebrated general, a prince of the Fire Nation, a man who knew both triumph and profound sorrow. We speak of Iroh, the dragon of the West, in the years before he guided his nephew on a path of redemption. Before you make yourself comfortable, please take a moment to click the subscribe button. We'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Tell us where you're listening from and what challenges you might be facing. Now, let us begin. Iroh was born a crown prince of the Fire Nation, eldest son of Fire Lord Azulon and grandson of the infamous Fire Lord Sozin, who began the 100-Year War. From his earliest days, he was enveloped in an atmosphere of immense expectation, destined for greatness, or so it was universally believed within the fiery heart of their nation. Imagine the capital city of the Fire Nation, a sprawling metropolis carved from dark, volcanic rock, its architecture grand and imposing, adorned with crimson banners that snapped in the heated air. The city pulsed with the energy of a nation at war, the scent of smoke, sulfur, and industry a constant presence, a testament to their technological prowess and relentless ambition. He was raised within the imposing walls of the royal palace, a place of strict, unbending protocols, endless political maneuvering, and immense pressure to embody the ideals of Fire Nation strength and dominance. From a young age, he would have been rigorously trained in the art of firebending, the elemental power that defined his people. His natural talent was said to be evident early on, his flames burning with a power and control that surpassed many of his peers. Picture a young Iroh in the palace training grounds, perhaps overlooking a caldera or a courtyard of polished black stone, his small hands learning to summon and shape the very essence of fire, his instructors demanding perfection, his every success a step towards his anticipated destiny. He was not just a prince. He was a future Fire Lord, a beacon of his nation's might. He grew into a formidable warrior and a brilliant military mind, a celebrated general known throughout the Fire Nation for his strategic acumen and his truly formidable firebending prowess. He earned the prestigious moniker, Dragon of the West, a title that resonated with power and respect. The official story claimed he earned this by slaying the last of the great fire-breathing dragons. However, the truth, a secret Iroh kept close to his heart for many years, was far more profound. He had indeed encountered the last two masters of firebending, the dragons Ren and Sha, but instead of slaying them, he had proven himself worthy of their ancient wisdom. They taught him the true essence of firebending, that it was not merely a force of destruction fueled by rage and aggression, as was commonly believed and practiced in the Fire Nation, but an expression of life, of energy, of an inner spirit. This deep understanding, this respect for fire as a source of life, rather than just a weapon, would later define his unique, powerful, and more balanced firebending style, setting him apart from his contemporaries. For many long and arduous years, Iroh served his nation with distinction in the seemingly endless 100-Year War against the Earth Kingdom, the Water Tribes, and the Air Nomads. He was a figure of immense respect, even awe, within the Fire Nation military command. Picture him on the countless battlefields, a commanding presence in his general's armor, his eyes, though perhaps already holding a hint of the warmth that would later define him, capable of a steely resolve. His firebending in these years would have been a dazzling, fearsome display, a torrent of controlled power that could turn the tide of any engagement. He led his troops with confidence, achieving many significant victories for the Fire Nation, his name synonymous with success and martial prowess. He was, by all accounts, a successful and admired military leader, steadily marching along the path that would lead him to become the next Fire Lord, the ruler of the most powerful nation in the world. His personal life, amidst the demands of war and princely duties, also held moments of profound joy and contentment. He married, and from this union came a beloved son, Lu Ten. Lu Ten was the light of Iroh's life, a source of immense pride, boundless happiness, and quiet hope for the future. He likely envisioned a future where Lu Ten would follow in his footsteps, a strong, honorable, and perhaps even wiser leader than himself, a prince who might one day usher in an era of peace. He would have shared with Lu Ten his love for strategy games like Pai Sho, perhaps teaching him not just the moves, but the deeper philosophies of balance and patience. The defining campaign of General Iroh's military career, the one that was meant to be his crowning achievement, was the Great Siege of Ba Sing Se, the legendary, impenetrable capital of the Earth Kingdom. For 600 relentless days, Iroh and his vast forces laid siege to this monumental city, its colossal walls a symbol of the Earth Kingdom's enduring resistance. It was an undertaking of epic proportions, a testament to Iroh's unwavering ambition, his strategic genius, and the might of the Fire Nation war machine. He famously, and against all odds, breached the outer wall of Ba Sing Se, a feat no other general in a century of war had accomplished. Victory seemed within his grasp. The Fire Nation was poised to finally conquer the last great stronghold of the Earth Kingdom, a victory that would have cemented Iroh's legacy and secured his ascension to the throne. But it was here, at the very precipice of his greatest military triumph, that unspeakable tragedy struck. His son, Lu Ten, who was fighting bravely on the front lines, eager to prove his own worth and honor his father, was killed in battle. The news, when it reached Iroh, was a blow that shattered his world, extinguished the fire in his spirit, and altered the course of his life forever. The loss of Lu Ten broke Iroh. The ambition that had driven him for so long, the desire for victory, the pursuit of glory for his nation, all of it turned to ash in his mouth. The siege, the war, his titles, his destiny as Fire Lord, and none of it mattered anymore in the face of such profound, personal grief. His heart, once so full of pride and hope for his son, was now an empty, aching void. Consumed by sorrow, he abandoned the siege of Ba Sing Se, his once invincible army retreating in disarray, the great victory just beyond their reach. This act, born of a father's unbearable anguish, was seen as a moment of weakness, a disgrace by many in the Fire Nation, including his own stern father, Fire Lord Azulon, and most notably by his ruthlessly ambitious, cruel younger brother, Ozai, who saw Iroh's grief as an opportunity. Iroh returned to the Fire Nation a profoundly changed man. The jovial, confident, celebrated general was gone, replaced by a man burdened by an almost unbearable sadness, his spirit heavy, his eyes reflecting a deep, inconsolable loss. He had lost not only his beloved son, but also, as a consequence, his undisputed claim to the throne. Fire Lord Azulon already favoring the more aggressive and power-hungry Ozai, and perhaps seeing Iroh's withdrawal from Ba Sing Se as a failure of will, eventually named Ozai as his heir, stripping Iroh of his birthright. The Dragon of the West, once the pride of the Fire Nation, found himself sidelined, his future uncertain. This period must have been one of intense, quiet introspection and profound suffering for Iroh. He had known the pinnacle of power, the adulation of a nation, the fierce joy of fatherhood, and now he found himself adrift, his purpose lost, his heart aching with a grief that time could only soften, never erase. He turned away from the poisonous machinations of the royal court, from the relentless pursuit of power that defined his brother Ozai. Instead, he sought solace in simpler, more meaningful things: the ancient wisdom of spiritual teachings, the quiet strategy of the game Pai Sho, which he played with thoughtful dedication, and of course, the comforting, meditative ritual of brewing and drinking tea. He found in the steam of a perfectly brewed cup of jasmine or ginseng a small measure of peace, a moment of clarity in a world that had become clouded by sorrow. He embarked on a journey, not of military conquest, but of self-discovery and spiritual enlightenment. It is said that he traveled the world extensively, perhaps even venturing into the mysterious spirit world, seeking wisdom, healing, and a deeper understanding of the balance of life. He learned from different cultures, observed the ways of the other elemental benders, and deepened his understanding of the spiritual aspects of bending, realizing that true power came not from dominance, but from harmony. He shed the rigid, nationalistic dogma of the Fire Nation, embracing a more holistic, compassionate view of the world and its diverse peoples. His firebending, too, underwent a profound transformation. It was no longer solely a tool of war and destruction, but an extension of his spirit, drawing power not from rage or aggression, as was the common practice in the Fire Nation, but from life energy, from the very breath in his lungs, from an inner calm and a connection to the original source of fire. He even developed the rare and remarkable ability to redirect lightning, a technique he ingeniously devised by observing the fluid, yielding movements of waterbenders, a testament to his open mind, his humility, and his profound understanding of energy flow. Though he had lost his son, his military command, and his claim to the throne, Iroh found a new, perhaps even more profound, purpose in guiding his nephew, Prince Zuko. Zuko, Ozai's son, had been cruelly scarred and banished from the Fire Nation by his own father, tasked with the impossible mission of capturing the Avatar. Iroh chose to accompany Zuko on his obsessive, often misguided quest, not to aid in the Fire Nation's war effort, but to offer Zuko the love, the guidance, the patience, and the wisdom that Zuko's own abusive father had never provided. He saw the deep conflict within the young prince, the pain and anger that masked a yearning for acceptance and honor. He patiently, gently worked to steer Zuko towards a path of self-discovery, of compassion, and of true honor, rather than the twisted version his father had taught him. This Iroh, the one who traveled the world with Zuko aboard a small, unassuming ship, was a far cry from the celebrated crown prince and the fearsome dragon of the west who had laid siege to Ba Sing Se. He was gentler, more patient, his eyes holding a deep, lingering sadness for his lost son, but also a profound kindness, a playful humor, and an unshakable inner peace. He dispensed wisdom in insightful proverbs and gentle metaphors, often over a steaming cup of perfectly brewed tea, which he sought out with joyful determination in every port. He taught Zuko not just about advanced firebending techniques, but about the importance of balance, about the true meaning of honor, about the courage to question, and about the profound importance of choosing one's own destiny, free from the shadows of the past. The journey from Crown Prince and celebrated general, the heir apparent to the Fire Lord, to the wise, tea-loving, and deeply compassionate mentor was a long, painful, and arduous one, paved with devastating loss and profound sorrow. But it was through this crucible of suffering that Iroh forged an unshakable inner peace, a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of the world, and a boundless capacity for love and compassion that made him one of the most beloved and respected figures in his world. His story is a powerful reminder that true strength is not found in conquest or the exercise of power over others, but in resilience, in kindness, in humility, and in the quiet, enduring wisdom gained from a life fully lived, with all its triumphs, its joys, and its deepest, most transformative sorrows. As the tale of Iroh, the dragon of the West, the wise master of tea and philosophy, and his long journey towards peace gently fades into the quiet of the evening, may your own heart find its quiet, steady rhythm. May the echoes of his enduring wisdom and comforting warmth accompany you into a night of profound peace and deep, restorative rest. Sleep well.